So major news at Stability AI. Stability AI announced earlier today on the 23rd, Emad Mostaque, the CEO, resigned from his role as CEO of Stability AI and from his position on the board of directors to pursue decentralized AI. And it goes on to say the board of directors has appointed Shanshan Wong, our chief operating officer. It's always the chief operating officer who takes over, and Christian Lafort, our chief technology officer. Now, usually it's the chief finance guy who takes over. But here we've got the chief technology officer as the interim CEOs of Stability AI. So they've got they've swapped out one CEO for two CEOs, and they're obviously going to be searching for a permanent CEO to take over. Now, obviously that article just led to the usual crazy articles that announcement led to the crazy articles that usually follow Stability. And Emad on his Twitter account says, as my notifications are RIPs, some notes, my shares have majority of vote at Stability. They have full board control. So he's the big man, still the big man when it comes to the money matters. Basically, he's able to exert his influence still at Stability AI. Now, my own recollection of Mostaque was his ability to communicate what was happening with the technology, but using just easy language, stuff that anyone can understand. And also, I think he was very good at explaining some of the stuff in the debate on the legal stuff, and also what was happening in terms of open source, and his idea that open source was safer and more customizable. I think so far, in some respects, the more customizable aspect of that has been shown to be absolutely correct. Now, there were some rumors or some talk that Emad Mostaque was about to leave or was planning to go, but what came as a bit of a surprise as well was that three very senior researchers, including Rombach and Essa, I believe, left Stability AI. Now, these are the people whose names are associated with Stable Diffusion because they came up with the concept of latent diffusion, which then evolved into Stable Diffusion. They wrote a pivotal paper when they were working at the Maximilian University in Munich. And this is basically the paper that describes the birth of Stable Diffusion. It managed to overcome some of the major problems in terms of the speed and reliability of image generation in artificial intelligence. So they also left at the same time, more or less, as the CEO. So it's a very interesting situation, and I do wonder whether the the four of them leaving may in some way be related. I'm interested to know what you guys think about that, because could be a coincidence, but I don't know. It'll be a huge coincidence if it is. And to add a little bit of sauce to the meal, Patrick Essa, one of the guys who was leaving, left a comment, where would we be without Mostaque? And Emad Mostaque himself posted a picture. Apparently he's having a video chat with a very bold looking smiling guy there in a big office. That could be Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. So plenty to think about there, all smiles all around. And staying at home, we've got some news from YouTube. YouTube has announced a disclosing use of altered or synthetic content policy. This new policy is for content creators on YouTube, and what they're saying is you gotta disclose content that makes a real person appear to say something or do something they didn't. It alters the footage of a real event or place, or generates a realistic looking scene that didn't actually occur. Now, this can include audio, video, or image. And they're saying that there are some limitations to this requirement. For instance, they're introducing tools inside of their studio, which does not require you to indicate that it has been altered. Obviously, this has to do with AI and the use of AI to manipulate real information to make it misrepresent reality, the past, history, the news. And this is something which I think is an indication that they are taking the AI situation seriously. To me, it doesn't seem like an overreaction. It seems like something that's actually very needed, because there have been a lot of scams running on YouTube where people are offering to double your cryptocurrency. It's someone who looks like Elon Musk or Steve Wozniak or one of the big gurus in the cryptocurrency arena. And I can tell that it's an AI generated image, but some people maybe can't. And these people might have been getting run over by some of these scammers. Now, the negative thing about this is that this could well be to do with a lawsuit that Steve Wozniak launched against YouTube, and he's been complaining about his face being used in a deceptive way. Now, I understand his concerns. I completely agree with what he's got to say on this. But at the same time, it would have been nice if YouTube had actually moved quickly to ensure people weren't getting ripped off by these scammers. It's been happening for a long time, and maybe this lawsuit is what actually triggered them to do this, rather their own common sense, because it really should not have taken this long for them to act. And finally, a story from The Hollywood Reporter. Apparently, Tyler Perry is putting his $800 million studio expansion on hold after seeing OpenAI's Sora. And he's saying jobs are going to be lost over this. Now, Sora is the video creation AI from OpenAI. This new AI allows you to create video, but it has an understanding of physics. So it creates fairly realistic images, which are consistent from frame to frame, and it knits those into a video. Apparently, it actually understands the entire process of video creation from the start to the end of the scene. So this is a really exciting new technology, but it's clear that it could potentially create a lot of job losses, and it's something which isn't yet perfect. There are still some issues, and it does seem that OpenAI are maybe delaying the launch of this, or maybe they didn't intend to launch it soon at all. But whatever's happening, this is extraordinary news, because it means that these AIs are having a very real world effect, both in the finance, in the film industry, and obviously with people's jobs. Now, Tyler Perry is a fairly well-known African-American filmmaker, but he's a long way from the biggest filmmaker out there. And if we're seeing projects of this scale being affected by a project that hasn't even launched, an AI that hasn't even been released, it's extraordinary to think what could happen over the next couple of years as the AIs become more and more powerful. And at the end of the Sora presentation, what OpenAI say is that Sora serves as a foundation for models that can understand and simulate the real world, a capability we believe will be an important milestone for achieving artificial general intelligence, AGI.